Hey, what's good, everybody? It's me, your hero, Benjamin Banks, and you're watching Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. Joining me, as always, are my co-hosts from the Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks podcast, Rebellious D and Double OT, Terrific Trav. And right now, we are in Gotham City, and we are reviewing the Batman today. Guys, how are you doing today?
Vengeance, baby. That's it.
Man, you should have opened up with a riddle, man.
Oh,
Riddle me this. How you boys doing?
I'm not good at riddles, bro. I'm not good at
I have one. It's a pretty simple one.
Go ahead. I got one too.
What has 4 legs at first, then 2 legs, and then
it's 3. A human.
Hey, yeah, it was a simple one. I saw that on the anime when I was younger.
I was in there helping Bruce. Let me see if I can say this right. And y'all don't have to answer it if you don't know it. What is something, okay, one person makes it but never uses it. God, I can't remember. It's a great one though. Hopefully I can remember by the end of the show. It's amazing. And it's kind of relevant to the
I can already tell you just from that, I don't know. You don't even gotta say the rest.
It's something like who what is something someone makes but never uses? Someone I can't remember it now. Hang on. All right.
Hey, the answer is Mike.
Mike.
Is it a human?
Nah, but hey, while you're doing all that, Banks, take us in.
Okay, here's one. What is harmless but can kill you? Do y'all know?
I don't know, bro. I told you I'm not good at riddles.
It's time.
Time?
Yeah.
He didn't give me a chance to solve it.
Okay, well, here's one for you. What time is spelled the same forwards and backwards?
What time is spelled forwards as backwards?
Yeah, what time is spelled the same forwards and backwards? Think about it.
It's a real time on the clock? Oh, 0000.
No.
I thought it was military time. 0100.
Clock.
It's noon.
Noon.
Think outside the box. That was a good one.
Hey, but I'm pretty sure somebody in the it's like we're like Dora the Explorer. We're sitting here saying this stuff. Somebody's gonna be in the comment section saying it's noon, you idiots. It's noon. Let me write this comment. But anyway, we are reviewing the Batman. It came out. We all saw it. It was a fantastic movie, and we are going to get into this review. So before we get into it, make sure that you like this video, you subscribe to the channel, and you hit that bell button so that way you're always notified when we have new content here on Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. And D, let them know what they can do, man.
Podcast in the description. And when you see that like button, say, what are you waiting for to come, which never arrives? And while it's thinking about the answer, click it.
That's right.
Hey, I like that. I like that a lot.
Thanks, guys. I was thinking all day on it. I was like, what am I going to do?
Well, bro,
riddle me this.
I'm going to let you know right now, your boy has been ready to do this review ever since I watched the Batman. First off, I want to say thank you to one of the friends and listeners of our channel and our podcast, Mr. Matthew Young. He actually hooked me up with some tickets to go see the movie because unfortunately he couldn't go see it. And this is also a birthday shout out to him. So I'm going to make sure. Yeah, I'm going to make sure that.
How come this man ain't offering me no tickets?
Because, man, you're not the number one hero. You in debt.
Apparently
Trav, you already knew what he was going to say. You got to sit back sometimes.
Yeah, you got to sit back. But I mean,
you already know what he's going to say.
It was last minute. He offered me the tickets, and I really appreciated that. And I went to go see the movie, but unfortunately, I couldn't find anybody to go see the movie with me. It seemed like everybody was either going Saturday or Sunday. So, Matt, thank you so much for the tickets. And
thanks, Matt, for the tickets.
Hey, yeah, thanks for the tickets. And I'm going to hook you up with something. I'm going to hook you up with some tickets or something. I'm going to hit up Robert Pattinson, tell him, you did a good deed. You know what I'm saying? But, speaking of Robert Pattinson, I got to give this guy his roses. I remember when it was first announced that he was going to be playing Batman. And like everybody, they was just like,
no.
Hey,
Not like everybody.
I'm never with the double Ron deal. I said, like everybody, like you guys had seen stuff that he had been in.
Damn right. Had faith.
A lot of people only knew Robert Pattinson from the Twilight series. So for me, there was a movie called The Lighthouse that he was in, and I never watched the trailer for it. And I just say, hey, I'm gonna go check it out because I want to see him in something else. And he was in it opposite William Dafoe, and I was just like, yo, this guy, I can see him being Batman after I saw him in that movie, and yo, he killed.
Hey, you know what the first scene was he filmed for that movie?
What scene was it?
The jerk off porter potty scene.
Oh my god. Yo.
Hang on, guys.
All right, go
This is the one. Yes, yeah, I had to. It's an amazing riddle. Who makes it has no need for it. Who buys it has no use for it. Who uses it never sees or feels it. What am I? It's an amazing riddle. It's one of my favorites. No,
He's nuts.
double negative.
What is it, D?
A coffin. It's an amazing riddle. Think about it. It's an amazing riddle. This is what we used to do when we were closing down. When I was back in restaurants, we would just tell riddles sometimes, and that was an amazing one I got hit with. I was like, yeah, I had to look it up. It's been a while. That's a sweet one. It sounds like something the Riddler would say too.
You ain't talking about Jim Carrey.
No, we ain't.
But yeah, like I said, like Robert Pattinson, everybody killed it in their roles in this movie.
Yes.
Like I enjoyed the movie from start to finish. When he was narrating at the start of the movie, and like when the sign went up, he said, when that sign goes on, it brings fear into everybody because it's like nobody knows where Batman is. And I thought it was going to be one of those things where it's just like he took out all of the criminals at once, but because he's only 2 years in, it's just like he has to pick and choose where he has to go. And when he came out of the shadows and that music was playing, the music that was playing throughout the movie, like it felt like a Western. It felt like I was watching Mandalorian at some points because when that music starts playing on Mandalorian, shit's about to get real. And whenever that music started playing, Penguin thought he got away. And no. That music started playing. Ooh.
Well, remember, they did that on Batman Begins too, where he had to pick and choose. Because remember, he was selling the drugs at the car and he looked up and saw the signal and he said, I'm getting out of here. And he was like, you got a better chance of winning the lottery than Batman showing up.
And what happened?
He showed up.
He ain't show up for them, you know?
Well.
But Trav, I mean, since you were the first one to speak, what were your thoughts on the movie? Let us know about it.
Well, first, let me preface. Is that how you say it?
Two-Face?
No, not Two-Face. Let me preface this by saying,
there you go.
My theater experience wasn't that good. It was insanely hot. I was sweating. My back was wet. The chair was uncomfortable. Bro, it was.
Where were you guys?
It was packed.
He was in the Riddler's apartment.
Well, look, hey. Me and Paul from the Oscar Worsties podcast was talking about I haven't been cold in a theater in a long time. It's not in the budget no more to freeze us out in the theater. So
it wasn't freezing in mine either. I mean, it was pretty. We were just there. There wasn't that many people in, but
every seat was sold except for the first row in the theater I was in.
Cow.
It was packed, dude, and hot. And cool thing though, as soon as it came up, we all started clapping. So I was like, all right, I'm amongst my people. All my Benjamin Bankses is here. We clapping, we shouting.
Yes, sir.
The movie got an ovation when it was over.
Wow,
dude, Robert Pattinson's the best Batman of all time. He's not the best Bruce Wayne. He's probably my least favorite Bruce Wayne outside of Batman and Robin. What's his name? George Clooney.
Yeah.
But him as Batman, that outfit,
it was dope.
Sick.
You know what your boy says? Fire, bro. That outfit was so fire. He looked so good as Batman. This suit didn't look stiff. It didn't look uncomfortable.
Hell no.
It looked like he was ready to whoop some ass. Dude, as soon as they showed the opening scene where he was fighting I'm calling them the Joker gangs, because that's what it looked like from Batman Beyond.
Yeah.
It did look like the Joker gang, especially, hold on.
I
want to piggyback. All right, go ahead.
All right. Except for our surprise Tim Drake.
Okay, so now this is the thing.
And he only had half the face paint, so you could see that it was the guy that plays Tim Drake in one of our favorite shows, Titans, and that was a cool cameo. I thought that was really
this
cool.
is the thing, Trav, because I want to piggyback, and I'm glad that we're here because I was saving this. D had it was funny because me and Griff, he still hasn't seen the movie yet, and D hits me up and he's just like, yo, did you notice that Tim Drake was in the movie? And I was just like, I thought that guy looked familiar, but I didn't think that it was Tim Drake. So like when I had looked it up on IMDb, he wasn't Tim Drake, he was just in the movie, right?
Oh yeah, I know, I just don't know his name.
Yeah, but
I just thought Tim Drake.
But I thought it was cool because I had explained to D that because D was like, do you think that this Batman is set in the same universe as Titans? And I was just like, no. And the reason why is because in Titans, Bruce is already an old man. And Tim
it's already been confirmed this is on Earth too. And Titans is not on Earth too. So that's how
like what I had told D is that this was similar to what had happened on Luke Cage, where I think that the actor, he had already filmed this role, you know what I'm saying? And then he ended up getting put in Titans. And remember on Luke Cage, Alfred Woodard, she played a Black Mariah, right? But Captain America Civil War, she was in that, and she was the lady that talked with Tony Stark in the alleyway, but they were two different roles. She did the Civil War thing first, and then Luke Cage came out afterwards. So I think that's all that it was. But it is, you know, people who watch Titans, like they would think, oh wow, like it's just the same universe and whatnot. I mean, I can get it, but
I just thought it was a cool cameo. I never once thought it was actually Tim Drake, but I did pull the Leonardo DiCaprio meme, bro. I pointed, I'm like, it's Tim Drake.
Anybody else in the theater like, hey, I know who that is.
Nope, nobody said nothing.
Definitely,
just me.
I definitely just thought that it was amazing, and it wasn't just Robert Pattinson. I know he was the one up on the stand, and you know he was the one that the people had to vote on. But I thought that it was a collaborative effort from everybody that they cast to make it a phenomenal movie. And it was just like the one who had, I think, the least amount of experience. Besides, I don't know what else. Zoe Kravitz has been all in. I'm not very familiar, but the guy who played,
he's been in a bunch of stuff.
Okay, but the guy, good. Because this furthers my point. The guy who played the Riddler hasn't been. Yeah. Not very notable. Not a lot of. He hasn't been in a ton of stuff, is what I'm saying.
Bro,
correct?
Paul Dano's been in like 30 movies, bro.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't notice him, Trav, is what I'm saying. And he kills it. And I mean, okay, so he's been in 30 movies, but it's like, what's he known for? Is my point. And this guy was a phenomenal Riddler.
Yeah.
Phenomenal.
Paul Dano's he's an artsy actor. So unless you're super, super into film, you're not going to know. He's just most notably known for There Will Be Blood, the Paul Thomas.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah. Okay, and that's one of the ones that came up.
Dude, Little Miss Sunshine, The Ballad of Jack and Rose. He was in 12 Years a Slave. The Guilty last year was really good.
Okay.
The movie Prisoners, the Dennis Villeneuve, the guy that did Dune. His movie with who plays Wolverine. I can't think of his name right now. Paul Dano's been in a lot of stuff, bro.
Okay, but anyway, I just want to say that he killed it, and I didn't know him for a lot.
Dude, he was.
What my point? He killed it.
I want to just go back and piggyback off of what you had said about Zoe Kravitz. Now, Zoe Kravitz, like, if I could, I would marry her, man. Like, she is like my all-time favorite crush. Like, I've had a crush on this girl ever since I saw her on TV for the first time, and because I didn't know she was Lenny Kravitz's daughter, and like he had brought her on TV, and I was just like, yo, like I remember I told my mom, I was like, Mom, she's beautiful, I want to marry her, and my mom was just like, all right, I'll call Lenny Kravitz. You know what I'm saying? Like she pulled a Travis, just like, yeah, hey, I'll call Dwayne. You know what I'm saying? But yo,
she's with what's his name?
Yep, that was exactly my point. It was like a collaborative effort. Everybody was just so well placed.
But also too, John Turturro, who played Carmine Falcone. Like, I know that he's been in stuff, but it's like I've mostly, remember him from Do the Right Thing, and he's done some comedies and whatnot. But I thought he did a really good job, man. Like D said, like everybody in this movie did an awesome job, from Robert Pattinson playing Batman to Jeffrey Wright as Jim Gordon. Like, I love the buddy cop dynamic that they both had. Like the whole thing where it's just like, man, you could have pulled the punch. I did.
Yeah.
It's just like the dialogue between everybody in this film was so good, and I can't wait to see what's going to happen next. Trav?
Yeah, I just don't think there's any need to rush the next Batman. I mean, the last time we got Batman movies, Batman Begins came out 05, Dark Knight came out 08, Dark Knight Rises came out 2012. So, like, they were spanned out quite a bit of time, 3-4 years. So, I'm kind of looking for the same. Like, I think we can go 3 years before we get the next Batman movie, in my opinion. Really get it fleshed out and what they want to do. There's so many rumors going around about what they're going to put in these Batman movies.
Yeah.
And it's like, bro, they don't know. They just assume it. Everybody's assuming stuff. Nobody knows, and they probably don't even know the direction they're gonna go.
Yeah, and then it's like you still have like all of these different universes, because you got Batgirl coming out, and then they said that I believe Nightwing is supposed to be making a cameo in Batgirl, but I think the Batgirl movie is set in the same universe as like the other DC movies and whatnot. And then, I mean, you still have those rumors of Justice League 2 coming out. So when it comes to the DC movies, and I know we've talked about this before, I don't think we've ever talked about it on YouTube, but I love that like DC knows that we have multiple universes, so we can play with all of these different characters and whatnot, unlike with Marvel, where Marvel, they have perfected just having that one universe. So I'm fine with them having different Batman movies, different Joker movies, because you get different actors doing different roles, and everybody does a phenomenal job. Like, I still would love to see Ben Affleck as Batman. I mean, I know that there's been rumors that he still has a Batman movie coming out or something like that. Who knows? But I just think that the way that if DC just keeps doing what they're doing with their universes and just keep it on putting out, banging products, then I think that they'll succeed, as long as they just keep doing what they're doing and not trying to mess up anything. Because what do they have next? You got Shazam, Black Adam, Aquaman. Yeah. I know that there's rumors of another Suicide Squad. I think James Gunn is supposed to be doing another one, but I mean, who knows? Because of the way that Peacemaker ended, I mean, it's just so much stuff that they can do right now, and I love too the fact that we still get introduced to newer characters that don't really get a lot of spotlight. And then on the smaller screen with Stargirl, we still got that, and then Superman and Lois. I just don't know what's next. I know, Trav, go ahead, D.
Yeah, go. No, I just want to cut in because I don't want us to miss a very big part of the movie. And that's, I want to get y'all's thoughts on who you think the mystery guy was in the other cell talking to Riddler.
Oh, we already know it's Joker.
Yeah, it was Joker.
Positive?
Yeah, they confirmed it.
And I love...
But in the credits, it doesn't say that it's the Joker.
Yeah, it says Arkham Cell.
Because I was thinking a little out of the box. I thought that maybe that could have been a Scarecrow. Based on how he looked, it could have been the Mad Hatter. It would be interesting. I would like to see them go away from the Joker, especially with them. This, I guess, being kind of like a standalone. And then I'm okay with them keeping this by itself, to be honest with you. And just kind of fleshing out and showing off some more Batman villains. I would love it. Go ahead, Trav.
You can't do a series of movies and not have Joker.
Exactly.
I'm sorry.
I mean, I get it. But the way this one was written, I don't think that he couldn't not do it.
I think that they just
the motherfucker is phenomenal. What?
I think they just wanted to go a different direction. Kind of like with the Spider-Man series, it's like,
okay,
there's no Green Goblin in that universe. Then we finally get the Green Goblin in the third Spider-Man movie. I feel like with this Batman series, like, we'll either get Joker in the second movie or possibly in the third movie. But it's just like, Batman and Joker, it's like they're two sides of the same coin. It's like, you can't do Batman without the Joker. You can do that Joker movie without Batman, and I think Batman is supposed to be appearing in the second Joker movie, so it's going to be, because now you got to get another Batman or somebody to play that Batman. So
yeah,
it's gonna be interesting to see how they continue to keep doing this stuff. Something that I wanted to touch on was when I was watching the movie, and I'm pretty sure you guys did this, and I'm pretty sure everybody that's watching did this too. If you do read the comics, because I know like some of my friends like they don't read the comics, but I love how they pulled inspiration from Batman Year One. They pulled stuff from The Long Halloween, from Batman Hush.
Well, they all pull from The Long Halloween.
Yeah, I mean, but it's cool to just be sitting there in the theater and be like, oh yeah, like that's cool. Like, you know, Selena Kyle saying that she's Carmine's daughter and stuff like that. And, you know, him killing Thomas Elliott's dad and all this stuff. It's like they laid so many breadcrumbs for what they can do next. So I mean, like I said, Joker doesn't even have to be the villain in the second movie.
Yeah,
Thomas Elliott could come and want to get revenge for what Bruce Wayne's family did to his family.
I just think, go ahead, finish your second.
And then also too, Robert Pattinson has already said that he would love to do, you know, Batman in the Court of Owls. So there's so many things that they can do with this series, and you know, I'm just looking forward to seeing what's going to happen. D, go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to piggyback and say that to think that it's just going to outright be Joker next, I think that's a little silly, especially with there being another Joker movie running around. And the way this guy wrote, I mean, the way they put together the Riddler in this, I would love to see their play on other villains. This is exactly what this is the other side of that coin that I always talk about. Flesh it out. Don't go the same brick road. You know what I mean? And the same goes for the Joker. Okay. We've seen the Joker a few times. Let's show some other people off.
Yeah.
Like, give me a real cold Mr. Freeze. Like literally just killing people. Give me a Scarecrow. Like I said, the Mad Hatter. I mean, there's plenty of people. The Court of Owls. Plenty of avenues to go down. Go ahead, Trav.
Yeah, what's it called? I could see them pulling the switch on us and making that the Mad Hatter instead of the Joker.
It would be fun. I want to have some fun with these movies.
But the guy that played it, Barry Keoghan, is really
doesn't mean that he would get out though.
What you mean?
Like just because he was somebody he met in there doesn't mean he'll be the villain for the next movie.
That's right, yeah, for sure. Well, they've already confirmed that they're taking the Gotham PD show and making it an Arkham Asylum show. You know, we could see all that. Like you're just talking about, we could see Calendar Man. I mean, you can't do an Arkham show without having Calendar Man. You know what I mean? So there's mad stuff you can do. But so definitely.
Go ahead, Trav. I'm sorry.
No, I was gonna say I want to see Court of Owls, bro.
That's what I'm saying. Give me something else.
Dude, it's my favorite new Batman. I love Scott Snyder and all the Batman stuff that Scott Snyder has written. So I would love to see Court of Owls.
I'll second that. That's a sick one.
And when they do come out with another movie, it has to be 3 hours again. I feel like the runtime that they gave, it was enough time to, you know, give us Bruce Wayne. Yeah, flesh it out with Bruce Wayne and flesh it out with Batman. And I think that Matt Reeves did a really good job. And I definitely want to see the movie again.
Yeah, I'm right. He ain't no joke.
I said that's Matt Reeves for you.
Yeah.
I've been a fan since Cloverfield. Matt Reeves. Everything.
That's one of my favorite creature features, man.
Absolutely.
Killed it.
Now, do you guys think that, because this is something I was going to ask earlier, the twins, do you think that they were supposed to be Tweedledee and Tweedledum?
I don't know, but it's the dudes from Desperate Housewives, if you ever seen that show.
No, I know them from, they're more than I know from Teen Wolf. They were
they are in Teen Wolf too.
Yeah, they were actually
They play twins and everything.
And they killed their pack and they could fuse into one super big alpha. I think he was the guy they changed into was played by a wrestler. I'm guessing he was huge. Right. But yeah, pretty sweet characters. Go ahead.
You know, I was gonna ask something dumb, but I'm looking it up right now.
Ask it.
I was gonna ask, were they the twins in Cheaper by the Dozen? And I just looked it up.
Bro, I thought you were gonna say were they the twins in the Matrix?
Oh, come on, Trav. I said I was gonna say something dumb, not idiotic.
Not ridiculous.
Hey, they were in this movie called I Am Michael.
Oh Lord.
Well, let me say something ridiculous because they pulled so much stuff from like a Zodiac Killer Hush vibe. I would really like to see that this whole time it wasn't the Riddler, that it was Hush,
think that it was him,
and Riddler was running it from behind the scenes, so we haven't even seen the Riddler yet. I would be cool with a switch pull like that, to be honest with you.
That's a neat one.
What's crazy, man, is like even after the Riddler got captured, I did not think that was the Riddler. You know what I'm saying? Like I thought that he was still out there and he was just pulling strings from somewhere else because he was just so smart.
Strings too. You know? He still had a couple moves.
He was pulling the strings from behind bars.
Right, boy. He had that law-abiding citizen going on.
That's right.
All right, boy.
Yeah, but with that being said, we're here at the end of the review. Trav, final thoughts, and what is your rating for this movie? I'll make it special. 1 out of 20. What do you give it?
Well, he said 1 out of 20.
That's a little too much, bro. But
God damn.
Look,
I'm gonna give this one a 15. It just it was above 10, but it was just missing some stuff.
Man, for me, it's really hard to rank it against Batman movies that I've been watching for 25 years. So, and I've seen this movie literally one time. You know what I mean? So
definitely think it's gonna be better the second time through, man.
Something
about it. It was just the construction of the movie because it kind of had that interactive feel too because you wanted to solve the riddles with them. You were wondering what this guy was talking about, who was next. But yeah, keep going, Trav.
Who's next?
I
mean, it's clearly better than like Superman versus Batman, Batman Forever, Batman and Robin. But I've seen it one time. I can't say it's anywhere close to the trilogy or Batman Returns or Batman. It's good, but it ain't that good. And I think Batman Begins at a much better time of pacing the film versus this. Honestly, I know you said you'd be cool with it being 3 hours, but I feel like you could have chopped off 20 minutes and we got the same movie, to be honest with you. So yeah, but it's still I gave it 5 stars to 10 out of 10. It's an incredible movie. Robert Pattinson was the best Batman that we've ever seen, but just based on a first watch, it can't even compete with Dark Knight or Batman Returns. Michelle Pfeiffer literally made me realize that I was attracted to women. You know what I mean? That's how significant that movie is to my life in general.
Yeah,
so
I feel that.
There's just no way I'm putting it up there with that. But it was an incredible movie. I'll be seeing it again in theaters for sure.
Hell yeah.
D?
I'm gonna go ahead and give it hands down 10 out of 10. I thought the construction of this movie was phenomenal. I love the shooting locations. The score was very haunting. It really, when that tune, like you said, it was very Mandalorian-ish. Like when that tune came on, nobody knew where the man was coming from. And I like that we got a lot of Batman and hints of Bruce. And the way they chose to blend it together, it was just like you were saying, it was like year 2. And it was just, I loved it. I love the villain. I love the supporting cast. It's not what's not to like, man. I love the Batmobile too, man. That scene where he was just revving it.
Yeah.
That shit was sick.
The motorcycle's fire too.
Oh yeah, no question. Go ahead, Trav. What were we gonna say?
I was gonna say it's cool that Gordon's already lieutenant versus like in Batman Begins, he was just a sergeant and he became lieutenant by the end of the movie, and then he became commissioner halfway through Dark Knight. It's cool he's already lieutenant. So, dude, at the start of the second one, we could already be like he's already been promoted to commissioner.
Yeah. And that's exactly. And that's another thing too that we didn't really talk too much about was they skipped over and just kind of talked about what happened to his parents, but they told the story from a different angle. And I appreciated that too, because there's a lot of time, you get leaving out of the movie theater again. And
also
go ahead.
My one nitpick was I thought Alfred was a little insignificant to Bruce's life. It didn't seem like Bruce respected him or looked up to him or like Bruce has in the past. You know what I mean? And we barely got any scenes with him.
Yeah,
I have to kick back on that.
Let me say something because it's like, Trav, I get where you're coming from, but it's like this is his second year as Batman, and Alfred
he's driven by revenge.
Alfred is trying to be the father figure that Bruce needs in his life, but he's just like, you're not my father, and it's like I did enjoy the moments that Alfred was on screen. Like, I think that it was cool that he helped him solve the first riddle that he got in the movie.
Right.
I feel like that was something that we would see like on Batman the animated series or something like that, because that Alfred, he was more hands-on with Bruce, whereas like this Bruce, he's been doing Batman
works alone
now. This dude, he's been Batman now for 2 years. Like you said, he likes to work alone. He doesn't need any help. And this guy isn't getting any sleep at all. And Alfred is trying to be that person, which I like, because you see this all the time. Like we saw it in The Dark Knight, where it's just like, hey, you got to keep up your appearances. You got to do this. Dude was going to go out with no cufflinks on. And he was just like, he said, I don't care what you do. At the end of the day, you're still a Wayne. You know what I'm saying? You have an image that you have to portray. And then he gave him the cufflinks. Like, where'd you get these from? It was like, your father gave them to me. So I love that Alfred was the Alfred, which was like a butler. I'm glad that he wasn't like the Alfred that is like the Alfred on Gotham, who was like a former what was he on Gotham?
He was a soldier.
Yeah, he was like, I'm sure he's still a soldier.
Well, you know what I mean. He was like not a Green Beret or anything, but it might have been. But he was part of what
on Gotham, man. He was throwing hands and fighting. It's
kind of sweet. It was. I liked it because see, but that's the other thing. I don't know. They're trying to spruce him up or not, but that was a much younger Bruce.
Yeah, that's
so true. It's. I mean, how else would you do it? The people just come in there and kidnap him every time? They had to do something.
Yeah. But this ain't no weak Alfred though.
Nah.
But go ahead and say what you were going
to say. I just wanted to piggyback off of that combo break, if you will. But this Alfred, I thought, was one of the most significant ones we've seen on the big screen, and it fit because, like you said, he was helping him when he couldn't think straight. He was helping him, keeping him on his path. He was setting up the meetings with people to come to the house when he didn't, or to the mansion when he didn't want to do anything. I like this Alfred.
I'm a little married to Michael Keaton. You know what I mean? So
I get you.
Now, Trav, I know that you're more into like, the comic stuff. I mean, D, like he's heavy into the comics as well. But the first time that I had ever seen a story where it's like the Waynes were painted in a bad light was in the Telltale Batman games, where it showed that the Waynes were working with the mob and all this stuff, and that Thomas Wayne was he was like somebody that was working at Arkham, and he was doing experiments on the patients and stuff like that. And Bruce Wayne in that game, he was catching a lot of flack, and Wayne Enterprises was catching flack because of all of this news that came out about the family. Now, has this ever been talked about in the comics, or is this something that is like movie and video game related? Her being in Arkham is in the comics and one of the arcs that they have. And that's the thing, dude. Like, there's no, this is the real Batman story. There's so much different Batman lore that you can't really pin it to like, no, this is the real story of Batman. No, this is dude, there's so much different random stuff. So even if they made it up for the movies, I know people are going to bitch because that's what people do. Yeah. But why is it okay to make up stuff for the comics, but not okay to make up stuff for the movies? You know what I mean? So yeah, I feel like
even if it was just made up, I think it's cool that they're like, yo, Martha was crazy and they were trying to keep it under wraps, dude.
I thought that was a nice little fill-in, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I mean, some people gonna,
But I mean, to go back to the whole Alfred thing, it's like, I'm glad that Alfred, because of course, Falcone, he was gonna spin the story.
Of course, he's a mobster.
It made him look like he was a good guy, but I'm glad that Alfred was just like, no, like your father, he didn't want him to kill him. He just wanted him to not say anything about it. But Falcone was the one that took it upon himself to do it. And he was just like, your father was always a good man, and he was just trying to protect your mother. So it's like, D, to piggyback off of what you had said earlier, Alfred was the light that Bruce needed to help keep him sane. Because if not, then, I mean, we saw how he was. He was just going down like that dark path. And I thought that it was another a humanizing moment when at the start of the movie, Bruce sees the little kid, and the little kid just lost his father. And I know how that kid feels. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that kid is going to show back up again. I don't think he's going to be robbing or anything like that, but it's going to be one of those things where it's just like, you know, I'm happy that Batman caught my father's killer. You know what I'm saying?
Let me ask you, do you think Falcone got a foot fetish like the butler in Mr. Deeds?
Oh.
Yikes.
That's what I remember. I mean,
that's definitely one of his most iconic roles, bro.
Oh, for sure. That, and then, you know, Do the Right Thing. Like I said, like he's been in a lot of
he's been in so much stuff.
Mr. D's, Anger Management. Yeah, he's been in so much. But for me to wrap this thing up, I give the movie a 10 out of 10. It was awesome from beginning to end. The only issue that I had was because I am doing a fitness challenge and I have to drink a gallon of water every day. And I worked out at the gym before going to see this movie. So it's like I had to piss. You know what I'm saying? And I made sure the part that I did it at was the part where the dude had drove the car into the funeral. And it's like I went to the bathroom and I came back and I was
because we had already seen that scene?
Yeah. Well, what do you mean?
They showed that clip already. Like they released that 3-minute clip.
Oh, I never watched it. I never watched it.
So, that's why I thought you picked that moment because we had already seen it.
Nah, see, so that worked out good for me. So when I came back, it was when Batman,
the stare down.
And the stare down. Like they were sitting there talking to each other, but
bro, how Robert Pattinson said nothing but said so much at the same time. Yeah, the man's the best starer of all time.
Such a good job. Like everybody killed it in their roles that they had, man. And I just love the score. I love the, cinematography for like certain parts of the movie. Like when he came walking out of the shadows, I don't know what it was.
You thought it was Mando, didn't you?
Yeah, bro. It was hey, look, they need Robert Pattinson on the next season of Boba Fett because it's just
Lord.
It's like, it's like Boba Fett need all the help that he can get on that show.
No question.
But
I think my favorite scene as Batman is when he's in the hallway in the shadows and he starts coming out and they shooting the guns at him. And all you see is the light from the guns. Then him taking them out.
Showing off the armor too.
The car chase. The Penguin Batman car chase was off the chain.
Super sweet in the rain and all. Yeah, man, so many cool moments in the movie. And one of the other things that I loved too was how he traversed through town, like just dressing up in street clothes.
That's what I mean.
And with the mask like this.
Yeah, and it's just like nobody knew who he was. He was just like a normal guy. But then when it was time to get to business, he put the suit on. And something else too that we didn't touch on, because me and D was joking about this earlier, was
you about to say what I think you're about to say?
D was like because that contacts that Selena had in, so that way he could see everything. It was so funny because it's like Selena was looking into his eyes and like I guess she thought that something romantic was happening. He was just like, all right, it looks good. And she's like,
I thought you were gonna say it was cool that they showed him painting around his eyes because they've never showed that in a Batman movie before. And it's cool that you got to see I do paint my eyes, and I'm like, we all know it, but it was cool that he had it. And then when he gets back and it's all he looking like Sting after Sting get done with the match, the paint done started to melt off. So
I agree with you on that. But no, like D was saying that I'm gonna go out on a date and I'm gonna have the contacts, and D was like, I need to be able to see everything. But keep the contacts in. I'm like, I don't need you anymore.
But ain't gonna freeze.
Everybody check out the movie if you haven't already. Go see it again. Let us know in the comments what you thought about the movie. Let us know what your rating is. Like, we'll respond to your comments and whatnot. We appreciate you guys that watch our videos and whatnot and hear us ramble and talk about the movie. And with that being said, Trav, let everybody in social media land know where they can find you at.
That's right. I'm on the Instagram at ZKOtti. I'm also on the Twitter at TRAVIOSCK, where I'm also on Letterboxd ranking and rating my favorite movies. You could check out my Batman ranking list right now on my Letterboxd. D, and the D stand for Dabcat. Where they finding my man at?
You can find me down on the streets of Gotham helping out. You can also find me on Instagram at rebellious_D23 at Instagram.com. I had to do it twice. I had to say it twice tonight, guys. Riddle me this. Hey, riddle me this. riddle me this. What's big and pumped up and looks like a hero? Wears glasses. What am I?
You're Benjamin Banks, the #1 hero, who you can find at @KingBenji_Banks on Twitter and Instagram. You can find me on Facebook at Benjamin Banks. I should be the first person to pop up. If not, then I need to contact Mr. Zuckerberg. Thank you again for watching this video review. Make sure that you check out some more reviews that we have here on the channel, along with reaction videos and interviews. We have podcasts with brand new episodes. The link is down in the description. Click that so that way you can check those out. And then we have the interviews from those interviews in video form up here on YouTube on Friday. Like I always say, keep that pinky up. If you see the signal up in the sky, stay inside. We'll see you next time on Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. Peace. Thank you for watching a brand new episode of Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. Make sure that you hit that like button and you subscribe to our channel. Hit the bell button so that way you're always notified when we have new content on our channel. Make sure you check out our podcast where we release new episodes every Tuesday and the video of that episode is uploaded on Friday. And you can find new episodes of our podcast on all podcast platforms. Make sure you follow all the Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks social media accounts at Leveling Up Banks on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Also, we have a Patreon. If you're feeling generous and would love to donate to us, it's at Leveling Up Banks. And huge shout out to our patrons. We really appreciate you and thank you for the support. We'll see you next time on Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks.